Hey guys, welcome to game 2 between NRG and OD. Right now it looks like NRG and OD, 50 cal and OD, aka Light. I guess I'll just say Light at this point on. Recently getting sponsored by Starfeeder. I think I'm going to do a commentary with Lipton in it. Lipton's actually got the famous Psystorm video on Dig, which you can see the original footage of on Vilatak. Noah was, aka Moletrap, was the first guy to actually get that out, and also some other videos along that end, like Boxer's taunting ceremony, things like that. Anyway, continuing, Fitch starting at the 9 o'clock position, well actually 8 o'clock position, in red as Zerg. Excellent Zerg player, and has really played well for OD this season, in my personal opinion. He's really, I don't know, maybe that's exaggerating a little bit, but I can't remember seeing him get defeated or really not have a game that was extremely competitive. Light starting at the 2 o'clock position. Welcome to Python. He's going to be in, I think, yellow. Let me get that. Yeah, in kind of light yellow. It's an observer map, so the colors get kind of odd and off. And also special shout out to Ariels because he's in this game. In the meantime, yeah, it looks like Fitch is going to scout the 6 o'clock position. It looks like also scouting the 6 o'clock position. We see Future pushing up there now. And Future looks like, yeah, he's going to push in. He's going to get the scout off. He's not going to see the Overlord. The Overlord's already pushed out of that base, but he is probably going to do a counterclockwise spot. So he's going to have the scouting advantage. It looks like we're seeing a 9 pool. I'm sorry, we've got the Overlord first. So interesting, an overpool on the opposite end. Sorry if I get any background noise that's distractionary. An overpool on the opposite end from Fitch. Overlord pushing out of the base right now. Spawning pool down. All sorts of shoutouts in the chat, and we'll see. 2 gates going down in the meantime. Oh, this is a bad situation for Future. He's going for a 2-gate push against an overpool. And this is a bad situation for him, simply because he's got a really far cross-map position, and additionally, Overpool, it's a pretty strong build. Actually, I would say it's the most economic build you can get away with as a Zerg player and still be able to fight against the 2-gate. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. A bit even. I've still got to give the advantage to Fitch just because of the cross-map position, because you can get that second base down. Zealot's already being produced, second pylon going down. I'm surprised that Future went with this, considering, well, where he spotted the base. I think he got that spot, and I think what he was hoping is that Fitch wasn't in fact located at the 8 o'clock position. I think he was hoping for a close position on a blind scout. In the meantime, shout out to Kwai Rice. I'm not going to say the rest of that. 4 Zerglings starting to push out of the base. But the one advantage that Future does have is his second base going up in the meantime. The one advantage that Future does have is there's been no scout up to this point. Overlord is pushing up very slowly. The Zerglings starting to push up now. However, there are 6 Zerglings out in the field, and I've got to assume that there are additional Zerglings being produced. In the meantime, though, 2 Zealots already on the ramp, and I've got to say that that's got to be an indication that he's going up against a 2-gate. It looks like Future realizing this was probably a bad thing to do. He's going to get his gas down, try to go for some sort of tech as to kind of deal with this. Maybe he went the early 2-gate just to fight off maybe some early Zergling push. I don't know. I'm not inside of his head. Looks like 3 Zealots out in the meantime. He's just it looks like Fitch is actually going to back up. He's just going to allow his Overlord to do the scouting. A little bit of lag here. But right now, an economic advantage, slight economic advantage, going to go to Fitch with that secondary down. 3rd hatchery going down. So it's a 3 hatchery into, 3 hatchery build from Fitch from this point on. We'll see what he does. 4 Zealots, 2 probes rushing cross map. We'll see if he can get it done. In the meantime, I only see the 6 Zerglings, actually no, I'm sorry, 8 Zerglings defend this off. We'll see if additional Zerglings are being produced. There's a couple Zerglings alongside. I don't know if this is enough to really fight it off. But I see, oh man, what is this? About 8 Zerglings. It looks like a creep colony is going down. A sunken colony will be produced. The question is will it be in time against these 4 Zealots and 2 probes? I think Fitch should be prepared for this, though. Yeah, he's got additional Zerglings coming downstream, and now it's basically 4 Zealots against almost a full control group of Zerglings. I'm going to assume that's a full control group. 4 Zealots and a creep colony coming alongside, and he's going to allow them to just push up into the secondary. I'm surprised he allowed them to do that. Just going to try to cut off reinforcements, I guess. He has that 3rd hatchery coming up. He knows he's going to be able to produce a lot of Zerglings. Fitch trying to do some sort of interesting contain here. Zerglings. This is interesting because now we've got Fitch kind of pushed out of his own base. 4 Zealots and 2 probes kind of doing a divide here. And now 2 Zealots and a single probe going to rush up, try to do some economic damage. There is a creep colony going down in the secondary. Now the Zealots starting to hold the ramp against the rest of the Zerglings. Those 2 Zealots and the probe are doing a fantastic job at that, though, killing a lot of the Zerglings. 1 Zealot almost taken out. The second Zealot still has a decent amount of health. In the meantime, a lot of drones have been killed opposite side. Looks like the return trick. No, the drones are coming actually to assist to try to break Fitch's own ramp. The creep colony in the meantime is down. Wow, Fitch in a bit of trouble here. Let's see if he can. I expect him to have a zergling force, but really getting that base divided really cost him. Now he's bringing some more zerglings into his main to try to fend off these what's remains of these two zealots. One's almost killed, but it's got the 2 kills, the 3 drone kills on the opposite end, and also that probe managed to get a kill in here. So actually a pretty effective attack, I would say. Looks like the zealots have been cleaned up in the meantime at the secondary. So Fitch, kind of an economic problem right here. Now the zerglings coming from both directions to take care of what's left. The probe taken out and only a single zealot left now. But Future able to do a decent amount of economic damage as well as get the spot and see all 3 hatcheries. And we'll see if he puts down a secondary. He's got 5 more zealots produced. He's also got the cybernetics core down. We'll see. He's got a Stargate going up, and I don't know if Fitch is going to have anything to deal with this. We'll see if Fitch gets a Hydralisk den down to really, and a shout out to Brooklyn, by the way. From aerials. I don't know if he's going to have the sense to get the Hydralisk den down to deal with this. Interesting build, interesting attack, I would say, from Future, and he's got about 7 zealots, 1 probe kind of pushing out in the field. Some Zerglings pushing up from Fitch, but they're not going to be able to do a lot against this. First of all, 3 zealots on the ramp, but 4 zealots in the background. Citadel of Adun going down as well. So I think we're going to see some sort of speed zealot. I would be surprised if we saw Dark Templar at this point. I think he can get it done with just the speed zealot force, and he's got a lot of zealots on the ground already. And right now, yeah, okay, we are seeing a Hydralisk den, so it looks like the Hydralisk den has gone down for Fitch. Fitch having the presence of mind to realize that the Stargate was coming at him at this point in the game. The question is how much gas does Fitch have? He wasn't mining gas for quite a while, and his second gas is not down. He's taken enough economic damage that this Corsair could be a big harassment. At the very least, it's going to keep those Hydralisks pinned to base, and honestly, I think this could be an interesting combination from Future. If he went, we'll see if he puts down the, no, I'm not seeing a Templar Archive, so if he does go for the Speed Zealot, this could be very interesting, forcing the Corsair Hydralisks to deal with the Corsairs and immediately switching into the Speed Zealots to deal with the Hydralisks and the limited gas on the opposite end from Fitch just because he hasn't been able to mine gas. This could be a very, very effective attack. He's pushing up now actually with 3 Zealots and a single Dragoon. 2 zealots following and a Corsair pushing up as well, and this is going to be very difficult for Fitch to deal with. He's going to have to he's going to have to use the Hydralisks to try to deal with the Corsair, and they're not going to be able to join with the main attack force because they're going to have to be fighting that Corsair off. 3 creep colonies, so Fitch senses this. He's got 3 creep colonies going down on his front door. Corsair now pushing up, and it looks like the Corsair just going to barrel in actually to go after the Overlords, and now the Zealots and the Dragoons, they're going for the second ramp. Fitch just breaking it off, getting the Zerglings in between just in time. That was an extreme suicide attack from Future. I did not expect that. Looks like the Corsair is taken out. He was hoping to just, get something off the second ramp, push it in, and get a kind of like we saw in the early game, get up the second ramp. But beautiful timing on Fitch. He got the Zerglings in the way just in the nick of time, took out the Dragoon, and now it looks like Fitch is going to do an attack of his own. That Corsair was taken out in the meantime, so he knows he doesn't have to stay at home base. So he's got about 4 Hydralisks and about 5 Zerglings pushing up, although he's a bit outnumbered, but maybe he'll get a spot off. There's a full control group of Zealots out in the meantime. Now we're seeing a Templar Archives as well as a Forge, and more Corsairs being produced alongside. There's some Zealots though, so a lot of Zealots though on the ground. Surprised we're seeing the Templar Archives at this point in the game. It should be an effective attack. So both players, I would say, decently even. A larger attack force on the ground wow, just a lot of Zealots on the ground. And right now it looks like Fitch is going to try to do a secondary break. I don't think he has enough Hydralisks to do it though. Hydralisks obviously very good at microing against the Zealots right now, and Fitch doesn't have anything, or I'm sorry, Future doesn't have anything to really deal with these Hydralisks, and more Hydralisks pushing in. Looks like a Corsair going to go up to the upper right hand corner, see what it can do. But yeah, those Hydralisks starting to just press and press and press on that secondary and surprise. And this is a bad situation. I don't see any Dragoons. I don't see any High Templar. I did third gateway going down, and again, I don't think those Zealots are speed upgraded to really deal with this Hydralisk attack. Fitch starting to back off now. It looks like he had a control group just harassing there. I think he knows that Corsair is coming from the north. Actually, beautiful timing. That Corsair coming from the north. He's got a couple of Hydralisks popping right now to deal with it though. Not getting an additional expansion down, which is what I'm expecting to see from Fitch in the meantime. Still no secondary. Actually, sorry, a probe pushing out to get a pylon down to try to secure the secondary in the meantime. For Future, Future has a Dark Templar out in the field in the meantime, as well as a cannon alongside to deal with those Hydralisks. And I don't see weapons 1 upgrading though along edge. And now, wow, Future has a very enclaved base. He's got a very defensive position. More Hydralisks pushing out. I don't see speed upgrade on those Overlords though, so that those Dark Templar are really going to wreak
wreak havoc. In the meantime, Corsair chilling at the bottom right-hand corner of the base. And the Dark Templar are going to go to the upper left-hand corner, which is beautiful, beautiful prediction there. Actually, no, there was a drone headed to the upper left-hand corner. It's turning around though, and a Dark Templar pushing to pin it in, but the Corsair. The drone pushing back. I'm not sure.